People tell me, if end-of-life care ain't broke, Sam, why fix it? Well, the answer is yes, it is broke. A bit like the curate's egg, at least in parts. Let's start off with the scandal of the Liverpool care pathway. It started off as a reasonable idea in the 1990s to offer hospice class care to people in their last days of life in every hospital and all other settings across the UK. The LCP was endorsed by the Royal Colleges, the NHS, and of course by the hospice and palliative care movement as an inexpensive and simple solution for care of the dying. But things went badly sour. In fact, the Liverpool care pathway story was a classic example of a slippery slope. The LCP ran ahead of itself without any underpinning research, with inadequate training and little accountability, and ultimately led to hundreds, if not thousands, of people having one-size-fits-all, unpleasant and undignified deaths imposed on them, often without their or their families' knowledge or consent. In 2013, the Liverpool care pathway was scrutinised and heavily criticised by an independent commission led by Baroness Neuberger. I was asked to give evidence to that commission as I was already known to be a sceptic about the LCP. The LCP was abolished by Parliament in 2014. Now, 9 years later, last year in 2023, I was a co-author of a report commissioned by a parliamentary group on the state of end-of-life care based on real-life case studies. Our report was called When End-of-Life Care Goes Wrong. A senior barrister and I scrutinised 17 deaths from 2012 until 2021, and we documented harrowing experiences of people in hospitals, in hospice care, and in the community. 8 of the 17 had gone into hospital with an acute illness or for planned surgery that were not even for end-of-life care. Many of the modes of death we studied for this report were identical to what I had witnessed a decade ago under the Liverpool care pathway. And wait for this, 4 of the 17 people died under hospice care. If you need any more proof about the patchy and often woeful state of British palliative and end-of-life care, look at recent reports from the Care Quality Commission and from NICE and the National Audit for Care at the End of Life. These clearly show that palliative care in the UK, even after 50 years, is not always the gold standard that it wants the public to believe it is. My second point is, wouldn't increasing the amount of palliative care be better than allowing assisted dying? Well, frankly, from someone who's dedicated 30 years as a consultant in palliative care and a further 10 years in examining it, no. Let me tell you why. On average, a person is referred to palliative care services in their last days and weeks of life. Now, specialist palliative care is still, after 70 years of the hospice movement and specialised palliative care, almost exclusively for cancer patients. I'm talking 70 to 80% cancer patients. And important though it is, cancer only accounts for a quarter of all deaths. Over my career, a few patients with a variety of conditions have asked my team and me to end their life because of the symptoms that they were currently suffering in spite of our best efforts, or that they fear new and distressing symptoms such as breathlessness, like suffocation, horrific blood loss from throat cancer, vomiting up feces from bowel obstruction from bowel cancer. They knew they were dying. We told them, after all. So why did they have to wait till nature took its course? Some other patients wanted an earlier end because of the degrading indignities that they were suffering right now in spite of the best nursing care.
1 minute.
I can tell you that even if we ever get to afford and legislate for universal specialised palliative care for all terminal conditions, not just cancer, sorry, it's not going to happen. We can't even afford right now to have timely and life-saving oncology services for all cancer patients, never mind for all patients with heart, lung, kidney, stroke, or whatever.